Welcome back to another video from our beautiful village build. I'm honestly so grateful for each one of you who shows up every time we upload. It means the world to me, and since our little community is growing every day, I would love to know, where are you watching from? And are you loving this building series as much as I am? The rains have completely transformed the place, and I couldn't be happier. Let's dive into today's video.
Hi, my name is Rowino. I do videos around cooking, farming, and homesteading in general. So it's morning and it rained last night. The place looks beautiful. We are just like going around the house, confirming what we did yesterday. And the sounds of the birds chirping, the sun rising. We are imagining the sun rising from our bedroom window, and it looks really, really beautiful. Or what do you think?
Very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And the sounds. It rained yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
so the cement and
That way.
the other poles was not dried,
Mm-hmm.
but I can see the sand coming up. So hopefully by today it will have dried and it will be strong on the poles. So today they are putting up the Makuti
I'm so excited about it.
finally.
Uh-huh.
So let's see the way it will go and how far they will get in the process
By the end of the day.
by the end of the day.
But are you happy that the partitions have been placed? There are cross balls. Right now you can see like where what is where.
Yes, I'm so happy,
Mm-hmm.
very happy.
I can see it from your face.
Yeah,
You're all smiles.
yeah, I'm
Wow,
happy.
this is so
It's
good.
progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is how it looks, but I'm also going to show you with the back camera. Yeah. So this is the cement. Also that one, that one, that one, and also here in front. Uh, this is the main entrance. They haven't completely dried.
One thing I truly appreciate about the guys working on the roof is their punctuality and their clear expertise. You never find yourself second guessing them because, honestly, we know very little about what they're doing. For me, this is the first time I'm witnessing professional Makuti installation so closely, step by step, and it's such an eye-opener. It takes me back to my grandparents' home where I will watch them harvest coconut leaves, call kanja if it's one, and mikanja if it's many, and start sewing them onto the coconut branches. After that, I will usually get busy with other things, cleaning, cooking, running errands. Life didn't pause. For them, especially those who still use Makuti, roofing is just a part of daily life. There is no rush, no deadlines, just slow, steady work, fitting it into their day. And when the roofs need fixing, they simply do it themselves. It's a beautiful reminder of how self-reliant and skilled they are, even without realizing it. Today was finally the big day for installing the Makuti. In their usual easygoing way, the Fundis began by carrying the bundles from where they had been resting, slowly bringing them closer to the house. There was no rush, just steady work and quiet conversations here and there. The kind of calm, unhurried pace that makes village life feel so special. As they moved the bundles, you could feel the excitement building in a quiet, gentle way. Just a few laughs, some teasing among themselves, and that sense of teamwork that only comes when people really know and trust each other. Every few minutes, they will pause, adjust the bundle, and share a moment or two before continuing. It was a beautiful sight to watch. Just simple, purposeful work. Standing there, soaking it all in, It reminded me again why I love documenting this journey. There is a raw honesty to it, a simplicity that makes even something as small as carrying Makuti feel meaningful. After getting a few bundles closer, the fundis sat down and began preparing the Makuti. What they were doing was tying the Makuti pieces together to form longer sections. So here is how it works. You take one Makuti, then overlap it halfway with another Makuti, tying them together at the point where they meet. After that, you take a third Makuti and place it where the second one ends, again tying them together carefully. This overlapping continues, Makuti after Makuti, making sure there are no gaps in between. They tied about 8 pieces like this to create one long Makuti sheet, or more accurately, one long Makuti panel that will be used for the very bottom row of the roof. They explained to me that the bottom needs to be stronger and well covered because it's the first line of defense against rain and wind, and it also supports the layers that are added on top. After that, they continued layering more Makuti pieces one by one, and of course, I couldn't just stand there and watch. I had to join in. It was quite easy to grasp the idea, but my challenge was figuring out which side of the rope was supposed to go where. I kept getting mixed up. Luckily, the guy teaching me was so patient, walking me through it step by step, until I finally got the hang of it. I'm honestly having so much fun learning these little things. Every step feels like a small victory. Once I got the basic idea, I started working on my panel. I took my time with it, carefully lining up each piece of Makuti and trying not to mix up the sides again. I will pause, check, adjust the rope, then continue. Slowly but surely making the progress. Honestly, it wasn't perfect at first, but the more I worked on it, the more confident I became. It felt really good to be part of the process, not just watching, but actually doing something with your own hands. By the time I finished, I held my panel and looked at it. It looked so good. I couldn't help but smile. Seeing the final result, even if it took me a little longer than the experts, was such a proud moment. It just showed me once again, when you take your time and stay patient, you eventually get there. After they had made enough panels to fit what they needed, it was time to start installing them onto the roof. But before they could begin, the team first tossed the Makuti bundles up onto the roof to create space for where the panels will sit and to make room for the first few rows of Makuti that they will install one by one. Watching them, I was amazed at how seamlessly they worked together. One guy will pass the Makuti up and another will carefully arrange them on the frame. At first, I will admit, I had a bit of fear about the height of the roof and the idea of them walking on the wall plates, especially since it was much higher than the Makuti roofs I was used to seeing. But after watching them climb the roof over and over, moving around with ease and confidence, that fear slowly faded away. They were so sure-footed, it was like they were completely in control. It was incredible to see how the team worked, with one person on the roof and another on the ground passing Makuti and arranging them. Even before the full installation was complete, The Makuti already looked beautiful up there, like nature itself was decorating the house. Before long, they had finished passing the Makuti bundles up onto the roof, and without wasting any time, they moved straight into the installation. Like I mentioned earlier, they began with the panels we had tied together. From what I could see, they placed maybe 2 or 3 panels in a single row, laying them carefully one after the other. After setting the panels, they switched to working with the individual Makuti sheets, installing them one by one. From where we were standing, it was a little tricky to catch every detail because of the angle. But don't worry, as the video moves along, you will be able to see everything a lot more clearly. They decided to start with the back side of the roof, well, half of it to be specific. I'm not sure whether there was a special reason behind that, or if it's just how they planned it among themselves. But either way, they got straight to it without overthinking. What I really liked is how they divided themselves across the roof. One guy worked from the far end, another one settled somewhere in the middle, and the last one close to the point where that first half of the roof ended. That way, everyone had enough space to work comfortably without getting into each other's way. Each of them had a simple rhythm: picking up the Makuti sheets, placing them carefully over the wooden poles that had been prepared the previous day when they were finishing up the roof frame. From where we were standing, you could see them working quite clearly, but of course, being the curious person I am, I wanted an even closer look to see exactly how they were arranging everything up there. So we decided to step inside the house to get a better view from underneath. And let me tell you, what we found was pure neatness. Every piece of Makuti was lying so perfectly in place. You will think they had measured it with a ruler. Beautiful doesn't even come close to describing it. It was clean, organized, and just so satisfying to look at. It's like the roof was slowly weaving itself together, one sheet at a time, and being inside allowed us to really appreciate all the small, careful details that you might miss if you only watch from the outside. And just like that, by the time they broke for lunch, half of the back of the roof was already done. It was impressive how quickly and smoothly they worked. They moved so effortlessly, so confidently, you will think they were simply piecing together a puzzle. They made it look so easy, like it was something anyone could do. But trust me, it's far from it. As they settled down for lunch, we had to get a few more things sorted out. Remember the work that was being done the previous day? Unfortunately, it was left unfinished. At first glance, you might think everything had been done, but if you looked a little closer, you'll see there were still a few things pending. So we called back 2 of the men to help us to finish the small bits that were left. It wasn't much, and we didn't need a whole team for it. They moved around the house fixing the fito where they were missing, trimming off the extra pieces that were sticking out awkwardly, and finally cutting out the window spaces that hadn't been done yet. Just standing here and looking up at the roof, I can't even explain the feeling. It was beautiful, it was neat, it was everything we had hoped for, and the best part, that section of the roof instantly cooled down the inside of the house. I mean, you could feel the difference the moment you stepped in, and that's exactly why we chose this style of roofing in the first place. They were moving so fast that if you even dared to blink for a few minutes, you'll find a completely different scene when you looked up again. At the same time, the 2 men working on the fito were also racing to finish their part. We needed everything wrapped up neatly and properly. As the day pushed on, we noticed the skies quietly changing, as if warning us to hurry up. And true enough, it wasn't long before the rain started pouring. But thankfully, by then everyone had already packed up and left the site. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for staying with me all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed today's video and maybe learned something new. I can't wait to catch you in the next one. Until next time, bye. We shall try again tomorrow.